Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum, and I am joined today once again by Max. I can't pronounce Russian, I'm sorry. Uh, we talked to Max earlier about the early developmental history of the AK, and Max is a small arms researcher living in St. Petersburg. And we thought we'd talk today briefly about the state of small arms ownership or firearms ownership in Russia. This is something I've looked into and done some videos about regarding other countries. And I always find it interesting to look into what's involved in actually owning firearms as an individual civilian in different places around the world. So, Max, you obviously live in Russia, and I think you have a pretty good handle on what's involved in owning guns over there. So, can you give us a basic overview of what it entails?
Yeah. Okay, first, hello everybody. So basically, the firearm ownership in Russia can be started as early as you're 18. So legal adult age in Russia is 18. So as soon as you turn 18, you have no legal issues, no crime records, you have no records of substance abuse, alcohol, drugs. You can apply for a driving license, and you can apply for a firearms license.
Okay.
Its actual process is quite similar. So first, you need to pass a medical exam, so it shows that you're actually sane. So you have no traces of drugs or alcohol in your blood, and you can actually see, so you're a normal person which can be trusted with dangerous things like a car or like a gun.
Okay.
So you have medical approvals, special medical examination paper. You can actually, you have to pass a safety course for a small arms. So it's actually like 6 or 8 hours, just discussing legislations, safety, first aid, and so on. Again, you get a special certificate, and then you apply for a police, for a purchase permit.
Okay.
So first you can buy is shotguns, long guns, and less lethal weapons. So handguns are prohibited in Russia. So pistols, revolvers, they are no for ordinary citizens. All you can have is long guns, shotguns, rifles, and less lethal weapons, which actually tear gas pistols or weapons firing rubber projectiles, soft, non-penetrating projectiles.
Okay. When you say long guns and shotguns, is that manually operated only, or does that include semi-automatic?
No, it's not select fire. So single shot, pump action, manual operated, semi-automatic. It's no difference for long. So not fully automatic. Fully automatic weapons are not permitted at all.
Okay.
And it's now specific of Russian law that you can apply for a rifle license only after 5 years of shotgun ownership. It's pretty stupid, but the original reason was that rifles were considered purely hunting weapons and professional hunting weapons. So as long as you amateur, as you novice, you can hunt with shotgun, with slugs, buckshot, and so on. And then when you get enough experience, you can step up to the rifle. And even if you want to buy a single shot 22 long rifle blinker, you still have to wait 5 years.
Wow.
That's stupid, but that has been written into our law back in 1990s, after the fall of the Soviet Union. In fact, during the Soviet times, the shotgun ownership was pretty easy. All you need was to join a hunting club and have a special hunting license, and actually you can buy the shotgun only with display of your ID, passport. There was no registration, no medical exam, so the rifles were sold only to professional hunters.
Okay.
So actually, in Soviet times, a lot of people owned shotguns. It was pretty simple. When the Soviet Union fell, and was like a new set of legislation adopted in Russia, so they had to invent a special law for weapons. And they decided, okay, so if rifles were professional, okay, let's at least give people some like a trial training period with shotguns. Like usual, so legislators have zero idea about what shotgun is and how much more dangerous 12 gauge semi-automatic shotgun can be compared to the like single shot or even semi-automatic 22 long rifle. So you in it that way.
Legislators not knowing what they're talking about is a universal situation.
Yeah, I think it's worldwide the same. So there is a legal limit of guns. So for normal license, you can buy up to 5 shotguns, up to 5 rifles, as long as you have enough experience, and up to 2 less lethal weapons for self-defense. You actually, if you want to buy more, you can apply for a collector's license. With collector's license, there is no limit. So your only limit is the size of your safe and of your wallet. The problem is you cannot hunt with the guns that are on your collector's license. You cannot participate in sport shooting. You need to transfer them from a collecting license to the actual shooting, hunting license or sport license.
Okay, so there is a sport license. I've read that USPSA is actually quite popular in Russia, and that would be
mostly IPC. Mostly IPC, not USPSA, IPC. Yes, it's growing sport.
So what do you have to do to get a handgun?
If you are up to a certain position, so like master in IPSC, you can pay for handgun to your club for your pistol, but it should be stored at the club. You cannot keep it at home. You cannot carry it. You can only go to the club and take it from the club only when you travel to a specific training or competition event.
Okay.
So it should be stored at your club.
Okay. Is there a similar way to own machine guns where they can be stored at a range?
No, there's no legal sport with machine guns. So.
Okay.
And there is a magazine limit capacity. So normally, 10 rounds is a limit. The trick is that there is no written punishment for ownership and for use of magazines that hold more than 10 rounds. If you're hunting with magazines that hold more than 10 rounds, there is a clear violation of hunting regulations. You can be fined for a specific amount of money. But if you are just at a shooting range plinking with, say, standard 30 round AK magazine, there is a tricky part. So you are in violation of law, but there is no specific punishment. And cops have to get real incentive to punish you, to find a way to issue a ticket.
Interesting.
And one recent change is that this limit is not applicable to the sport shooters. So people practicing APSC has no limit. So they can use 30 round magazines, 40 round magazines, as much as they want. 70 round drums, everything permitted by rules of the sport is permissible. So a lot of magazines sold here with like a standard 30 rounder with an inserted limiter, 10 round limiter. So it's legally it's 10 rounder, but you can disassemble magazine, remove the limiter, and it's your own responsibility.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And regarding machine guns, no, machine guns are not legal. However, machine guns, automatic weapons converted to semi-auto are legal as soon as they conform to the magazine and dimensional legislations. For example, long guns cannot be shorter than 80 centimeters when in firing condition. So, for example, if I have a folding stock AK, it should have a special block, trigger block, which blocks firing when the stock is folded, because in this configuration it's shorter than 80 centimeters. So, for example, my own 9mm Saiga, when folded, is about 65 centimeters and has special block. When I fold the stock, it blocks the trigger. I unfold the stock, lock it in open position, I can shoot it because it's longer than 80 centimeters.
Okay.
So, for example, if you take a Shpagin PPSH, you weld a selector in semi-auto and put a pin in its magazine, so it's 10 rounds only. It's suddenly a legal semi-automatic civilian weapon.
Okay.
So a lot of people were buying Shpagin in its original 7.62mm stock rifle, converted to 9mm Luger, which is much cheaper here. Even more funny, it's everything is officially called a hunting carbine. So we can buy a, say, Degtyarev DP 27 hunting carbine. So it's a standard DP light machine gun converted to semi-auto. The same receiver, just small changes to the trigger, with a pin in the magazine to limit it to 10 rounds. Okay, you have a civilian legal. You can even try to go to hunt. And even Maxim medium machine gun with a wheel mount and belt can be converted same way. So it's converted to semi-auto. You buy the special belts with the blocking round pinned each as a 9th or 10th round. And you have a civilian legal Maxim hunting carbine. And of course, you can freely buy 200 round belts, or say like 70 round drums for PPSH on the side, because owning a high capacity magazine is illegal.
Okay.
It's not legal to use them, to load them more than 10 rounds and use, but like I said, the police must have a special incentive to punish you for this small violation. So a lot of people actually do this. So a lot of people buy it. It's actually not expensive. For example, the PPSH in its original chambering is, I think, about $500 converted to United States. For example, the most popular, of course, for the sport shooting, for the plinking, was Kalashnikov type rifle. So it can be newly produced, like a Molot or Saiga, or actually converted old military surplus AKM rifles, or even early AK-74 rifles, just converted to semi-auto and sold like a surplus weapon. So, for example, Saiga is about like $600 on local market.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah. So problem is the imported guns are very expensive because of sanctions, because of differences. So normally, if we speak about American or European guns, the local price is about 2 to 3 times higher than compared to what is sold like in Europe or especially in US. But a lot of people buying expensive because if you can, if you own a Mercedes car and you want to own a cool gun, so you should own either Blazer or Hitler Koch. Because it's like, it's like a Mercedes in terms of if you like to drive like a Mustang, you should go and buy yourself a trick it out Remington, or I don't know, Daniel Defense or something like this. But a lot of people own a Remington 700 rifles, most of them were bought before the sanctions. Very popular for long-range shooting. So a lot of people are buying various R10, R15 style rifles. Actually, a few are produced in Russia. So we have several small domestic producers that make R15 style rifles, but normally those are about 2 or 3 times more expensive than a Saiga in the same color.
Okay.
But a lot of people believe that R15 is more inherently accurate and can be more easily scoped and just like it's foreign, it's American, so it's cooler, more modern.
Everybody else wants the foreign thing that's cooler than what you have at home. It's true here too. Cool. Well, thank you very much. I think that's a look into Russian arms laws that we normally wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah.
So thanks, Max, and thanks to you guys for watching. Hopefully you learned something interesting today.
Yeah. Bye.